Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and there are probably hundreds of different ways of making fabric roses. But today I'd like to share with you a rose that has a flat bottom on it. It doesn't have that stem, it's flat. So we're able to glue it on picture frames and put it anywhere that is a flat surface. So it's a great one for decorating with. And the fun part is it takes 5-inch squares of fabric. These roses are going to be a lot of fun to make. We're going to start with anywhere between 10 or 12 squares of fabric, and you can do whatever rose color you would like. And we're going to have anywhere between 2 to 3 leaves, so these will also be 5-inch. There's going to be some hand sewing involved and some hot glue. We are going to be gathering the roses, so I would recommend a good strong thread. I am using a denim thread from Metler. We're going to make 2 different shapes, the rose petals and the green leaves. I have a 5-inch square of fabric, and what I want to do is starch this, press this, and stretch it. I'm going to give it a little bit of starch, fold that fabric in half to the corner, and then just heat set that seam a little bit. From there, I'm not going to be moving the iron anymore. I'm going to be moving this fabric. So the fabric is going to be under the iron, and I'm going to pull that fabric out from under the iron. And that iron is going to be on a bit of an angle. I want to roll that fabric underneath the edge of that iron. We're going to put the iron about halfway, enough that I can grab this little corner. I'm not moving the iron. I'm pulling that fabric out. And that's going to give a little curl to the edge of that fabric. And of course, you could do that as many times as you want. You can really see how that fabric curls up. This is a bias seam, so that was easy to stretch and give that nice crisp edge and a curl. When you do this technique, your edges are not going to match up, and that's okay. We're going to be able to straighten them out now. If you have a pair of pinking shears, this is definitely a time that you can use them. If not, you can leave that seam or trim it. I want to just trim it a little bit, and then when I come to that point, I'm just giving it a bit of a roll. So I have a gentle curve. So that's the shape that I'm looking for. Now I want to make a variety of different sizes. This is the largest I'm going to go, but I can go smaller. We are going to need 2 or 3 smaller petals to go inside the rose. So you can see that difference in shape. We could do more round in the bottom. We could do more flat in the bottom. It's all just going to change every petal, and that's what we want. And then we're going to gather these up. Start at one corner, and I'm going to do a basting stitch around that pinked edge. And I'm really not overthinking it. I do want to make sure that that knot is strong because I'm going to be pulling. I'm going to go all the way around and then pull that to gather it. You don't need them very, very tight. You can just leave them so it is a gentle little petal bottom. And then I'm going to put a good strong knot. And that's our petal shape. You could see how this little piece that we pulled over with the iron rolls a little bit to the back. I do like to trim off any of these little points, but I do not want to cut those threads. So there is the petal. They're all different sizes, and the center of the rose is going to be the same as a leaf. I do like to have a little starch. It just gives it some body. Fold that in half, press, and then take those 2 corners and fold them down right to the bottom edge. I will not need to press that point, but I will need to do a basting stitch along that bottom. So when that's gathered together, it does give us a different shape. Now you could do the whole rose with this shape, and it would be more of a rose bud. And that same shape is going to be the leaf. And I would recommend matching thread for both. I do like to have those leaves left a little bit bigger in that bottom. Now, every rose is going to be different and will have a different personality. Some things you will use, some things you will not. So we're going to be able to start building this. I have 2 petals that I can start with. This little small one that is made the same as the others, or this little pointy one. And in this case, I did roll that, and I rolled this one, and I like this one better. So I'm going to use this one. So when I roll that, you can see how nice that's going to look for the very first petal. So I am going to use a hot glue gun and just put a little bit and squeeze that together. And just keep adding a little bit of glue until you get that center shape that you're looking for. So this is the beginning of my rose. I do want to make sure that that bottom stays flat. So along the way, if I need to give it a little trim, I will. And I do want to go smaller to larger. I have that next petal, and I'm going to be able to put that on. And you're going to be able to use both sides depending on what looks the best. I really want as little glue as possible, all while maintaining this flat bottom. So that is a very pretty center for the rose. So I'm going to pick up my next petal and try it in different positions to see what looks best. So I'm going to continue to overlap these petals and go all the way around. And I really am aiming to keep this as flat as I can. There's my rose with all of those little round petals. This rose could have been smaller. It can go a little bit bigger. Every rose is going to tell you when to stop because they all will be different. So here's that other petal, and I'll just put it up to the rose so you will see the difference in the shape. If you like the rose with the points, do all of your petals like this. When we look at the underside, it is very flat. As I was gluing, I was holding this together and then letting it go and trimming off anything that was really pointing up. That means it's going to sit. We could do 3 leaves, 2 in different areas, and I'm working that leaf the same way. Now these would be beautiful around picture frames, on the lid of boxes, on the sides of boxes. You can do a beautiful arrangement by putting these inside of wine glasses. Have some with roses and some with candles, all different sizes. They're very pretty. Any little container really can look nice. Now, if you would like, you can glue a little piece of felt on the bottom. And to do that, I would hold my rose tight and put my glue there. I don't want the glue to come to the outside. And place it down and push. You're going to push that right down. I want to push all of those pieces in. Now I can gently just go around the outside. So the bottom does have a nice look now. And we can always refix our rose. I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them on these little mirrors. These are candle mirrors. And I want to put it right in the corner. A little hot glue will stick those on, and this little area that I have left will be for a name. And these are going to go on a dinner table, and they're going to identify who's going to sit where. So you can get glass markers that wipe out, and you can get them in many different colors. These would be beautiful at a lady's tea party, an anniversary party, a wedding, or even Valentine's Day. Red roses, pink roses, yellow roses, even black roses. Oh, the possibilities and the possibilities on how we can use them. Thank you for joining me today on So Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I do have a newsletter. It's all free under So Very Easy. And be sure to make every day a so-tacular day. Bye for now.